When you think of a World War II soldier, what comes to mind? Probably a man, right? But what if I told you that over 1 million women served in the Soviet Red Army, fighting on the front lines, flying combat missions, and staring down the enemy through a sniper scope? Today, we're uncovering the incredible, often overlooked story of the women who fought for the Soviet Union. It all began in 1941 when Germany launched its surprise invasion. The Soviet Union was in a desperate situation, facing immense losses. In this moment of crisis, something extraordinary happened. Women from all corners of the nation, from factory workers to university students, flooded recruitment offices, demanding to be sent to the front. Initially, the military was hesitant, but the sheer number of volunteers and the dire need for soldiers forced them to change their minds. Soon, official policies were put in place, and the Soviet Union became the first major nation to allow women in direct combat roles. These weren't just token positions. Women served as machine gunners, tank commanders, medics, and partisans operating behind enemy lines. But perhaps the most famous were the female snipers and pilots. Can you imagine the skill and nerve it took to be a sniper? They would lie motionless for hours, sometimes days, in freezing conditions, waiting for that one perfect shot. Lyudomira Pavlichenko, nicknamed Lady Death, became a legend, with 309 confirmed kills, making her one of the most successful snipers in history. She wasn't an exception. Hundreds of women graduated from sniper schools and struck fear into the hearts of German soldiers. Then there were the aviators. The Soviets formed 3 all-female air regiments, a feat unheard of at the time. The most famous was the 588th Night Bomber Regiment. Flying outdated, flimsy biplanes made of wood and canvas, they conducted daring nighttime bombing raids on German positions. The planes were so slow and light, they could glide to their targets with the engines off, making a soft whooshing sound that the Germans said sounded like a witch's broomstick. And so, they earned their terrifying nickname, the Night Witches. These young women, mostly in their late teens and early 20s, flew thousands of missions, often multiple times a night, without parachutes or radios, navigating by map and compass in the dark. They were a constant, unnerving threat to the enemy. Of course, life on the front lines was brutal for everyone, but these women faced unique challenges. They had to deal with ill-fitting male uniforms and boots, a lack of basic female necessities, and the constant need to prove themselves to their male comrades. Many men were initially skeptical, even hostile, but respect was earned through courage and competence. When a female pilot successfully navigated her squadron through heavy flak, or a female medic dragged a wounded soldier from the battlefield under fire, attitudes changed. They proved, battle after battle, that bravery has no gender. They bled, they fought, and they died alongside the men. Their contributions were absolutely vital as medics. They saved countless lives. As signal operators, they maintained crucial communication lines. As partisans, they sabotaged enemy supply routes. And as frontline combatants, they helped push the German army all the way back to Berlin. Over 200,000 of them were decorated for their service, and nearly 100 received the highest honor, Hero of the Soviet Union. After the war, however, their stories were largely silenced. The official narrative shifted back to a more traditional view of heroism, focusing on male soldiers. Many female veterans were encouraged to forget their combat experiences, to return to being wives and mothers, and their incredible sacrifices faded from public memory. They were told their stories were not for a woman's ears. It's a tragic postscript to their bravery, but their legacy is too powerful to be forgotten. These were not just women in uniform. They were warriors who redefined the role of women in warfare. They flew, they fought, they led, and they won. Their stories challenge our perceptions of history and heroism, reminding us that courage, skill, and determination are universal human qualities. The next time you picture a World War II hero, remember the night witches in their canvas planes, the steady hand of a female sniper, and the 1 million women who answered their country's call. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more hidden histories. See you next time!